Greetings, comrades. All right, let's see if I can get a momentum going. I haven't done a video in a while. I've been kind of taking a little break lately from the normal routine. Played a video game, smoked a little bit of weed. Yeah, I know. But anyway, I have the desire to not do that and to get back to the regular routine. But things have been pretty crazy, and I was just starting to get pretty stressed out. So that's how I handled it, man. Yeah, I coped a little bit. But anyway, we're back, and I wanted to talk about hip hop culture and how it just can't be ignored that it's played a big role in where America, at least, has headed. That's where I grew up in the United States, so I can't really speak for everywhere else. But yeah, just from my personal experience, I'm very nostalgia driven. I'm extremely nostalgic for the 90s and early 2000s. And I know that a lot of my generation is that way. Anyone born around 90, 89, 91, 92, early 90s, late 80s. Honestly, if I had to pick what I think would be probably a perfect time to be born, if you just really loved the 90s, it would be awesome to be 5 years old in 1990. So if you were born in 85, you're fucking 5 years old. I mean, I have a pretty good memory. I remember stuff from back then. So then you're 10 years old in 1995. Let's see. Then you're 15 in 2000. Yeah, that would probably be pretty cool. I mean, I liked being a kid in the 90s. I don't know if I want to go too deep into this line of thought, but yeah, 15 by the time you hit 2000. Maybe it would be cool to be 10 by the time you hit 2000. So you're born in 1990, but that's pretty close to when I was born. I was born in 1991, so I was 9 by the time I hit 2000. I mean, that might have just been fucking perfect, man. It's easy to, they say the grass is greener on the other side, but just having such a good memory, I just have so many fucking good memories of the 90s, and then yeah, really, I'd say the majority of my childhood memories would be more in the early 2000s. So, I don't know, man, maybe 1991, maybe that was as good as it gets. I feel like maybe just a few years earlier, so I have a bit more 90s memories, but it's close enough, man. Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, movies, video games, I was there, I saw it, it was good enough, it was close enough. But I feel like part of the reason I've learned this over the years that I'm so nostalgic for that kind of stuff is because of how hip-hop culture slowly took over. Now, I don't want to be naive. I have a good idea of what was on the billboards and what was on, MTV and VH1 in the 90s. And I know that hip-hop was already a thing. Biggie and Tupac, we're talking early 90s and mid-90s. Tupac more early 90s and then mid-90s, Biggie. But it was just different, man. Hip-hop had this very, hypnotic, non-melodic. It appealed to a very particular kind of audience. It wasn't mainstream. It didn't hit the mainstream yet. Biggie certainly played a big role in it becoming more mainstream. Jay-Z, but you can't get around Eminem. You can't get around Eminem's influence, especially as far as bringing in the white community into hip-hop, bringing in the white fan base. And on top of that, Eminem's whole, emotional shtick, his whole, stand thing. I remember when I was fucking into rap and even being a rapper, the term stands was going around. If you're somebody who really fucking loves Eminem, you make all these arguments for why Eminem's the best rapper. I mean, it's all just so fucking cheesy to me looking back. But yeah, that whole style where it's and remember when we were in the house and we were talking and we're walking, and remember when you said that, you hid the pills under the bed, and remember what you said, and your face turned red, and it's like, whoa, he's telling an emotional story. Like, that whole fucking thing, man. I've had this theory that, like, emotional music, like, really powerfully emotional music that gives you that weird, fucked up feeling. You know, everybody probably liked the song Stan at one point. You know that feeling that it gives you? Like, whoa, this is so fucked up. Like, he's killing his wife in the car, and it's sad. Like, that, like, overwhelming, sharp, emotional. Like, that's a way that music manipulates you, man. People feel that in various different ways. You know, you have that in, like, a mainstream sense in grunge. Of course, grunge is, like, less emotional, obviously, but where do I even start with this, man? So, nu metal has an emotional tinge to it. You know, obviously the pop punk and emo, like, that was, like, the last big, primarily white kind of youthful music. I mean, I remember this very clear era of, like, you know that movie, the Not Another Teen Movie? It's funny because I can't remember the names of any of those movies that movie is, like, parodying, but I know there was, like, this whole, like, age of fucking teen movies. Like, I don't know if it started with American Pie, but just, like, teen drama, romance, comedy, that whole fucking thing, man. I remember, like, 3 or 4 of them, and they all have a scene where some pop punk band, like Good Charlotte or fucking Blink-182, is, like, playing at their high school party or something, and they all end the same way, with the guy fucking chasing the girl in the airport or kissing her in the rain or some shit. They have, like, so many of that same movie, but that was, like, an entire era, man. This whole mid to late 90s, early 2000s, Blink-182, Sum 41, Simple Plan, pop punk, emo, pretty boy, white boy, cheerleader girls. Like, it just seems like it was a era, but it was such a short amount of time at the same time. And that's when like Blink-182 and Sum 41 were taking over the world. Like, as far as I know, maybe I was pretty naive. If you think about the music that was on Now 4, or like the early Now compilations, it was like Smash Mouth. R&B was doing pretty well. You know, they had, what's her name, like, I believe that faith. Da, 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 da. What the fuck is that song? Macy Gray. I play it off, but I'm dreaming of you. I try to say goodbye and I choke. Try to walk away and I stumble. I don't try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not there. That was on Now 4. See, that's the kind of memory I have. Like, I have a really fucking good memory of very specific nostalgic moments. Now 4 had I'm blue, da-bo-dee, da-and-die, and da-bo-dee, da-bo-die. Me and my friends would say I'm in need of a guy. We'd make fun of it like that. It had, let's see, I think Now 3 had All Star from Smash Mouth. Holy crap, dude. How can any... Like, I don't have nostalgic feelings about that song. The Somebody Once Told Me. That song is fucking ruined, dude. But the one that was on Now 4 was, And Then the Morning Comes. Ba-da-da, da-da, na-na-na. It's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing. And every single day is just a fake. But when she comes, she moves so slow. Like, what was it? It's just pop music, right? It's just pop music. So, like, when I was in, like, 5th grade, 6th grade, I was really getting into pop music. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but there's a lot of 90s kids who will tell you the same thing. When you're a fucking little kid, and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were fucking huge. My babysitter got me into NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And first it was Backstreet Boys, and then NSYNC sounded exactly the fucking same, but for some reason they were better. And then, like, there was the people that nobody really gave a fuck about, like 5 and 99 degrees or whatever, 98 degrees. So the the pretty boy, what are they called? Boy bands. That was when I was like a really little kid, 2nd and 3rd grade. 5th and 6th grade, I started getting into like the Now CDs. First CD I ever got was All Killer No Filler from Sum 41. Somebody got that for me for my birthday in 5th grade. I got like Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park from my next door neighbor, this Mormon chick who had a crush on me. Yeah, fucking good times, man. And then my friends, my 2 best friends, they were all about Blink-182. I always tried to say that Sum 41 was better, and they kind of liked Sum 41, and I kind of liked Blink-182, but I liked Sum 41 better. I eventually like got heavy into Blink-182, Boxcar Racer. It was the Vans Warped Tour 2004 compilation CD. That's where I heard of so many fucking bands, from first to last. The Descendants, NoFX, and the Descendants and NoFX like go way back. They go way back, man. They got roots in the 80s, but they were like still hanging with these younger bands. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the whole youthful pop punk, emo punk like scene that I was a part of, but man, that is like hands down. Like I feel very nostalgic about the Now era with the pop music I was into. I even listened to a couple of R&B songs like I think Mandy Moore had the song Candy on Now 4. I'm missing you like candy. Dude, I don't know if I'm displaying it in this video, but I have a really freaky memory when it comes to this random stuff. Like I can tell you what tracks are on these fucking Now CDs that I haven't listened to in 20 years. Like Now 3, I think it had, I know it had a Limp Bizkit song. It's all about the Dookie? No, not the Dookie. The Poonie? The Nookie. It's all about the Nookie. I did it for the Nookie. It had that song. It also had Blink-182. That's the one that had, that's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. Now 4 had All the Small Things. Now 3, what were some of the other songs? I know it had like one of those, not Santana, like what is that? Matchbox 20. I was so high I couldn't recognize the fire burning in your eyes. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. That might as well be like, in my mind, the most fucking popular song of all time. I don't even know when that song came out. My love is breaking and fall from me. I have no choice. I don't know. Maybe that song's not even that old. I don't know if that song's from 2005 or from fucking 1998. That song is like lost in time for me. What else? I'm just kind of going off on random music. This is all relevant to the video, guys. We're meditating on this time before hip hop fucking took over everything. And I know enough about, real hip hop culture to know it's really more accurate to call it rap. Like hip hop culture was spray painting, tagging, breakdancing, DJs, black people, inner cities. And yeah, like that's the roots of the pop rap that took everything over. Because just really quick, I'm going to keep like sitting in this comfy late 90s, early 2000s music. But the emotional rap that Eminem started, that was like the formula that got us to where we are today. Because the monotone, like Hypnotic, Biggie, Tupac, I mean like the really old school, like Big Pun, Big L, it wasn't melodic enough to have like a mainstream following. And I respect it, man. I'll always have some respect for that old school kind of hip hop, because now they got auto-tune, they got the really poppy, like, like when Lil Wayne songs have some like sped up fucking bullshit for the oh my baby, I will stay true to you, yeah, little Weezy baby, like you probably have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. The shit has gotten really poppy. Like it is clearly pop infused rap that has like turned modern rap and hip hop into what it is. The point is that white people weren't really digging on the pure rhythmic kind of rap. But anyway, the next song I was going to get into, I remember, dude, I had a friend who lived in a fucking trailer park. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way. Like, I gotta say, dude, I did always kind of feel sketchy. Like, my family lived in a nice house, and I had some friends who lived in a trailer park that's actually gone now. By the way, it looks exactly like Sunnyvale from Trailer Park Boys. Honest to God, dude, this trailer park looked exactly like Sunnyvale from Trailer Park Boys. And this guy's dad kind of looked like Julian. But I have this memory of like him leaving me and my friend in his truck while he was like having a conversation. And he was gone for what seemed like a really fucking long time. I know time kind of seems like it was like moves slower when you're a kid, but he left that fucking Three Doors Down song, Kryptonite. It was on repeat, and we listened to it over and over and over. I'll never forget that like snare drum intro, like do dit do dit. I don't even remember exactly how it goes. I said I'd never forget it, but there's like a little snare intro. Do dit do dit do dit do dit do dit do dit do dit. Bow now 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 now. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? Like, we're fucking... That's like when boomers were like in the prime of their life, dude. Like, maybe not like the prime, you know, late 30s, early 40s. Boomers were in their like fucking early 40s, late 30s, feeling like they're in the prime of their life. I think there really were a lot of boomers who like peaked late 30s, early 40s. That's what my dad said. My dad, his whole thing was he always looked really young for his age. Like, he said he feels like the prime of his life was probably in his 40s, like 45. So, yeah, just fucking boomers. You know, their wives aren't ugly yet. They're fucking, like, in the prime of their life. It's like, fuck yeah, you turn up that Three Doors Down. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? Fucking killing it, dude. Like, living in a trailer. Probably doing coke. I'm pretty sure, like... In my hometown, usually when people lived in trailers, it's because they were on drugs. Like, not trying to be an asshole, but people worked, dude. Like, people in my hometown fucking worked. And, like, if you weren't an alcoholic or on some sort of drugs, you could afford, like, a decent place. But, yeah, you know, really quick, I don't really look lowly on people who live in trailer parks. You know, it seemed kind of comfy. There's kind of a comfy little community there. And it's like, assuming you weren't on drugs... Which unfortunately now, like a fucking opioid epidemic has swept my hometown. Which is just all more part of the reason I have this like comfy nostalgia looking back. Because it just didn't seem like it was like that. I was naive. Okay, so that memory of listening to that song, fucking comfy time, dude. Like, this friend was kind of sketchy, but we'd like watch horror movies all the time. Back when like I was actually scared of horror movies. I was afraid of the cover of the Child's Play movies. I hated that fucking doll, Chucky. And what actually got me over my fear of it was watching the movies. Because his voice, it's like, hey, Carl. Like, hey, you gotta be a straight shooter. Got it? Like, hey, Charles Lee Ray. Like, I never thought his voice was scary. I thought the way he looked was scary. But then I heard his voice. Like, oh man, this is fucking stupid. But... comfy ass memories, but that's actually going a little bit too far back. That's like 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade. Hanging out, trailer park. We'd go to the local video store before Blockbuster, man. We had this place called CrossFox Video. Before Blockbuster, this really fucking cool guy who had like an awesome taste in movies, and like he had like a small arcade there, a few arcade machines. We'd go to this fucking local video store, rent horror movies. He was all about Kid Rock. Everybody loved Kid Rock. That was right before Eminem. Actually, that was the same time as Eminem. I don't know exactly when Kid Rock started, but it was the album Devil Without a Cause. It had that fucking song, ball with the ball, the bang, diggy, 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 set the boogie, set up, dump, the boogie. My name is Kid. And then it had the song with like the midget. I'm 3'9" with a 10-foot dick. I want to be a cowboy, bang, bang. Dude, that was like the same fucking time as Eminem. The trailer park lifestyle, like I was a direct witness of this, bro. Britney Spears, hit me baby one more time. My loneliness is killing me and I must confess. Like, people don't want to admit this, dude, but people loved Britney Spears. Like, Britney Spears was fucking hot and her music sounded good and... it was just happening, dude. You used to get those little mini clip things from McDonald's where you can listen to like 30 seconds of a Britney Spears song. Collect them all and listen to one entire song with the modern technology of MP3 technology. It will never get better than this. It will never get better than 30-second clips from McDonald's. We were so fucking dumb back then, dude. Like Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause, Britney Spears, and Eminem. So when this guy actually ended up moving into a nicer house. His parents got their shit together, saved up some money, probably got off of coke, bought a nicer house, got out of the trailer park. And I remember sitting in this guy's living room when his parents were gone. It's like, now that my parents are gone, we can listen to Eminem. And he had, you know, the Eminem show. That was like the later one. The first three, Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady EP, which was first, and then Eminem show. And we listen through the shit and read the lyrics. That's what got kids into rap, dude, was Eminem because of the swearing. They thought the swear words were funny. It was funny, dude. Like, little kids liked Eminem, not because they thought it was super fucking dope, but because it was funny, because he said a lot of swear words, and it was different, okay? I'm not saying Eminem is the best rapper, but he was more colorful. He used more inflections in his voice. He told more jokes. His overdubs were a little bit more flamboyant, which he took from other rappers. If you listen to like Masta Ace, you can hear Masta Ace is like a little bit closer to Eminem's sound, but to say that Eminem lifted his sound from underground rappers, I think Eminem's sound comes from like fucking A&R masterminds from fucking Interscope Records and like people who probably very likely like diddle kids and fucking worship Satan. But yeah, Eminem had a more colorful sound. It wasn't boring. You know, when you listen to rap when you're a kid, it just sounds like on and on and on, and like, yeah, they have really impressive rhythms and shit, but you don't give a shit when you're a kid. You need that like attractive sound that drags you in, and that's exactly what Eminem had, man. Funny jokes, swearing, references. It was like a fucking 30-minute television show like crammed into a 3-minute song. It was just like these ADD kids who couldn't focus on anything. They fucking loved it. And that was like in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, man. I was in 2nd and 3rd, 4th grade, born in 1991, when Eminem was just, like, before I even got into music, people were listening to Eminem because of the swear words and because it was funny. So, yeah, that was all before I started, like, developing my first taste in music, which is 6th, 7th, 8th grade, Blink-182, Sum 41, and then the whole kind of, like, emo thing, Dashboard Confessional, My Chemical Romance. I had a friend who was into My Chemical Romance before they were big. I was one of those kids. So I had heard the songs that were going to become their big fucking singles, like, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. That song kind of fucking sucks, like, looking back. The other song, the Helena, that one's actually not bad. So long and good night, so long and good night. What's the worst that I could say? Things are better if I stay. See, that song's actually kind of catchy, but I had heard, like, I saw those songs, like, on their Pure Volume site probably, like, 3 weeks before they were on MTV. It was kind of creepy, dude. Like, listening to a band right before they blow up is kind of fucking weird, because the whole emo fucking movement, the poppy, emo, mainstream MTV movement, and for those of you who, like, know a lot about music, you know that emo actually started, like, way earlier, and it didn't even, like, really sound that much like that. If you want to know the real origins of that, it's Jimmy Eat World. Jimmy Eat World had a song from, like, their second CD, which is really notorious. That was, like, one of the first emo, quote-unquote emo albums that kind of broke into the mainstream. It was in some Drew Barrymore movie. But yeah, eventually they had that song, It Just Takes Some Time, Get a Little Bit of Little Blah, Blue Blah. That song fucking, like, smashed everything, dude. So it was that kind of, it was really like Jimmy Eat World that kind of started breaking it into the mainstream. But the big acts that really took over was like The Used, My Chemical Romance, and Dashboard Confessional. Which actually, if you listen to that guy, I mean, this is like just getting into my nerdy music taste. If you listen to Further Seems Forever's first album, that was going to be that guy, Chris Cabrera's band. And he had left the band before they even released the album. He just did the vocals in the studio and then went and did Dashboard, and that fucking blew up. But Further Seems Forever's first album is pretty fucking awesome, dude. So that's about the whole rant about that whole era of music, because it was slowly after that I kind of started getting into metal because I was playing drums. I fucking miss these people so much, my metal friends in high school. We didn't even listen to death metal. Like, they were Christians, and I wasn't really religious yet, but they were Christians. They loved power metal. Like, they loved fucking Manowar. They got me heavy into Dragon Force. I couldn't fucking believe the guitar solos on Dragon Force. I got into, like, Stradivarius, Hammerfall, not like Iron Maiden, the classics, a little bit of Metallica. The first Metallica I ever listened to was actually Saint Anger, which is like Metallica's worst album. So I never really actually had a Metallica phase. But yeah, I mean, I was at that point, you kind of feel like the poppy punk shit is a little bit too mainstream. So you're trying to branch out. I started getting into metal right around the same time my other friends, like mainstream trend friends, were starting to get into DMX, Lil Wayne. A lot of them got into Sublime first. When I first heard Sublime, I thought it was rap. I'm like, oh, you guys listen to rap? And I did not like it, dude. I never fucking liked rap. I thought Eminem was funny when I was a little kid, but then my friends all of a sudden they're like, I'm the Fireman. No, I'm the Fireman. Oh, because Lil Wayne has some stupid song called Fireman. And I remember when I first heard that kind of shit, dude, like, Fireman, Fireman, you can spark it up and I'm going to put you out. I'm like, this fucking blows. This is not music. Is Blink-182 fucking rocket science? No, but it has chords and a structure and musicianship. Like, people might try to be like, well, I mean, you can't really say that, like, Blink-182 and Sum 41 really has any more talent than Lil Wayne. Like, no, they really do, dude. Like, yeah, they're, Tom DeLonge kind of, like, sucks at guitar, and he's not even very good at singing live, but they wrote fucking songs, man. They wrote songs. It was music. The emo, pop-punk stuff. And, there was, like, some rock music that really, like, that, even the pop rock stuff had kind of an emo twinge. Like, I want to go to Boston. It just kind of had this, like, sad, you listen to, like, move along like I know you do. What was that called? Fuck, it's hard. It's hard for... I've been on a roll, dude. I've been remembering a lot of shit. I knew eventually I'd go into a wall. That band's name is right on the fucking tip of my tongue. I better just type it in real quick. I don't want to lose my whole flow. Move along. All American Rejects. I mean, they were like right on the line to where it's like... It's basically like a pop punk band that had a hit single. And that was that era, man. Pop punk bands with hit singles where pop and punk rock is kind of just like blending, and all the white kids want to have like baggy fucking clothes and baggy pants. Sometimes some people had like spike bracelets. You could kind of overlap the whole fucking Hollister and Hot Topic kind of a fucking look. Everybody had a studded belt, dude. Everybody had a fucking studded belt. And that's the very end, is people starting to listen to Lil Wayne. Like, it really seemed like it started with Lil Wayne. And I didn't know the ins and outs of Lil Wayne, because I'm telling you, man, when all my friends first started listening to rap, I protested for, like, probably a year. Probably, like, a couple of years. Like, shit, that was, like, the end of 8th grade, beginning of... No, man, the fucking summer between 8th grade and freshman year was, like... Nobody fucking listened to rap, dude. None of my friends listened to rap. So it was, like... somewhere in high school for me, like about maybe the beginning of sophomore year, summer between freshman and sophomore year, people started listening. No, I remember. It was my freshman year. I'm pretty sure it was my freshman year. People started talking about Lil Wayne, arguing over who's the Fireman. Lil Jon, Lil Wayne. Fucking stupid, bro. So that's pretty much wrapping up the video, guys. The majority of the video was just kind of like giving you kind of my picture of that sweet mid-90s, late 90s, early 2000s. You know, like you watch a fucking Newfound Glory music video, and what is it? It's like some fucking teenage dudes hopping around on stage. You know, most of them are pretty boys, but, you know, their bass player was fat. Like, you kind of just have to have a marketable look where it's like, you don't necessarily have to be a Chad, but you have to, like, you can't be like an ugly mongoloid fucking weirdo, you know? they had a look. They have, like, the skater t-shirts and the fancy designer jeans and the belts and the spiked hair. Definitely can't be fucking balding or anything like that. The spiked hair, they just had that clean look. As a drummer, man, I can tell you about pop punk and emo. The drummers always have the sickest drum sets. They have like sick custom drum sets, Orange County drums and percussion. That was like the original shit because Travis Barker played that. The drummer from No Doubt played Orange County. Tons of fucking drummers played those drums, man. And then there's all these other custom companies, and that was like, I thought that was going to be it forever, dude. I didn't realize it was a fad, and I was definitely like young, but yeah, so I started getting into metal, and everybody else started getting into rap, and I just think that's right about when it started to shift. That's right about the time the shift happened. I graduated in 2009, so 4 years earlier would be about 2005. I mean, that's it, dude. Like, most people on 4chan agree that 2007 was right around the time things started to get weird. And, I mean, I fucking got into rap, dude. I put up a fight for a little while, but my junior year of high school, I started smoking weed and partying. And I heard Immortal Technique. So fucking stupid, man. Like, that's where the nostalgia ends for me. When I start thinking about when I first started partying and getting into rap, and hearing Immortal Technique, and like being like, whoa, I didn't know rap could be so fucking awesome. Like, that's where I just think I became an idiot, man. And I became an idiot for years. Junior, senior year, and it's a shame because I just started to like start lifting weights. I just started to get a little bit of attention from girls. Like, I was a fucking idiot though. Like, I started to look better. I started to, like, not take shit from people, but I was such a fucking delusional, try-hard idiot. Weed made me, like, insecure and shy and, like, a pussy. And I just, dude, I don't feel like I was a real person, man. I feel like I was fucking brainwashed. And it pretty much lasted up until I moved here, man, in 2014. I don't think I was a complete idiot when I lived in the East Coast, but yeah, like, I don't really just, I have good feelings about that part of my life that I've described to you up until people got into hip hop. And that's pretty much it. So the video is not really describing like how hip hop ruined everything. It was just painting like that positive picture of everything leading up to that. Because that music was positive, man. Like, if I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? Like, why did people stop listening to it? It's because it's just a dead trend. It's a dead fad. Just random pop music, dude. Like, on the floor I'm torn, I will never change. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shame, lying naked on the floor. Or like, kiss me out on the open twilight, baby. Ah, fucking A, dude. There's just like this barrage of just random 90s hits. Like, that was such a fucking good time, dude. And I was a little kid. That's probably why it felt like such a good time. I was into Pokemon cards, dude. I have a memory of being in the car with my mom, driving to go buy Pokemon cards. And the song that was playing was by Garbage. Living without you. Da, 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 da. Am I starting with this sun? How the fuck does that song go? Do you have an opinion, a mind of your own? 'Cause I'm all out of patience. Anyway, I just feel like I can be in that moment again, man. I smell the car, I hear the music. I remember the Pokemon card store. Like, nostalgia is a really fucking powerful thing, man. And like, all I gotta say about the hip hop, like the part it played, it was just dead. It was like this dead, lifeless music. Like I said, like the original hip hop sound, it just wasn't really musical. It was cool. It was hip. But they took something that was kind of cool and hip, and they took Eminem's formula with the whole emotional, and that's when I realized you were an abusive piece of shit, and I found the pills under the bed, and it like makes white kids get stupid tingly feelings in their stomach, like, oh yeah, man, I've been through hard shit too. And I mean, down from that, dude, it was a complete idolization of black culture. And I'm not trying to like be racist, but it's just real. And like everybody picked up on it. And there was a lot of positive black music, man, like Seal. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. R&B, man, fly like an eagle. Their drummer played Orange County drums. There's a lot of black music that isn't hip hop or rap, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. That music just, they put the poppy beats over it. I don't really get what the appeal about Lil Wayne is. Like, I remember he always raps about shit. Technically, if I am the shit and you are the toilet paper, then I will take my poopy lightsaber like Darth Vader. Like, everything's about poop, dude. He just raps about poop all the time, and he has like 1 billion albums, like The Drought 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, so many fucking Lil Wayne, dude. That was it, man. I can honestly tell you, I really don't have that many positive memories from then on. I really don't, man. First kiss, first time I got a blowjob was all pre-stupid hip-hop culture, man. Before I smoked weed and drank. First time I fucked a bitch, yeah, it was already me trying to be black and like everybody trying to be black. And I just remember the way people talked in high school, like, oh yeah, he walks around like he's a big, tough black guy. It's like, oh, so you have to be black to be tough? Like, again, this isn't about tearing down black people. It's just like white people started becoming delusional idiots, man. And this whole like radical left culture you're seeing now, it's because of that delusional, obsessive, like synthetic respect, quote unquote respect they have for the black community. Because of music that, let's be honest, was probably designed by the CIA and FBI and secret societies to destroy the black community. And I have some positive things to say about Tupac, like not overly, I don't want to like act like Tupac is some fucking hero, but he definitely put messages in his music that the music industry did not approve of, and it may or may not have led to him being killed. But I don't want to be dramatic about it, like, he was trying to save the black community. He, like, some of the shit he said and changes, man, like, give a brother a gun, step back, watch them kill each other. Like, they did not want that. Like, the FBI at that point, or whoever, the powers that be, they hadn't really visualized that hip-hop could be that. Like, they just saw, oh, man, NWA, N-words with attitude, fuck the police. Like, this is fucking perfect. We got black people bragging about being violent and like being out of control and like not fitting into society. Like, and we have other black people looking up to this message. But then all of a sudden, Tupac out of nowhere, it's like, hey man, these people want to see black people kill each other. Like, I'm saying black people should get together and do something. Like, they didn't even realize that that could be a thing. And it became evident really quick, man. But yeah, then he died, and that's probably the best it ever got. That's probably the most positive the message ever got, man. And it still had a lot of flaws, but anyway, yeah, I'm not going to say that much more about it. It's a comfy little stroll through memory lane. And yeah, those all of the best memories of my life are in that time period that I described before I started getting into rap. And I think because I don't really like how deep I got into death metal, man. Like I feel fucking weird. I pretty much feel the same way about death metal that I feel about rap. It's like, how the fuck did I get so deep into this shit? I can still listen to it sometimes and think it's kind of cool, but fucking death metal was my life for a while, man. Like I actually played in death metal bands and I hung out with people in death metal bands, and I'm like, I was fucking brainwashed, dude. And that's how I got into the occult. Because the lyrics of death metal is occult, and there's a lot of that in hip hop too. Like, there's a lot of that in the music industry, period. It led to my awakening, man. Like, things became so degenerated that I eventually woke up. And a lot of people don't wake up. And if you never woke up, then you're fucking rioting somewhere for Black Lives Matter right now. You got a backwards hat, and you listen to fucking Logic and Lil Yachty and a bunch of dog shit, and you believe everything that CNN says. So, it's been a trip. I'll always have positive memories about that time. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed my rantings, and I will see you next time. God bless, Reform.
Cause that's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. I never thought that I could fall in love. What the hell is ADD? My friend said I should act my age. What's my age again? Whee!